Hey, this is James with GTDNext, and today I'm going to give you a demo of the newest version of GTDNext, which is version 1.0.5.15. This is going to be a little bit longer demo than I've done in the past because it's got a lot to cover, and it's really kind of aimed at people that are new to GTDNext, and I'm going to kind of go through all of the features top to bottom for them. All right, so first of all, a little bit about the navigation. The way that GTDNext is laid out is you got three panels here. You can hide the right panel by hitting Tab plus P or clicking on the Hide Panel, Show Panel. The Edit panel over here really kind of gives you all the details of your tasks. The middle panel is where you find your outline when you're in the Projects and Actions view. And the cool thing about the outline, if you just press Enter, that creates a new line. If you press Tab, it makes the project above it, or the item above it, into a project. And you can just keep typing and adding as many tasks as you want. And then when you're ready to make a sub-project, you can just press Tab again, and you've got a sub-project like that. Pressing Shift-Tab allows you to go back outside and continue on in the outline from a higher level like that. You can press the mouse on the folder. Folder indicates a project, and this little sheet indicates an active task. So that's how a little bit about the navigation. There's tons and tons of shortcut keys too. So if you go up to Help, and if you then go down to our keyboard shortcuts, you can see that there's a lot of shortcut keys that you can use to navigate throughout the app a little bit faster. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. You can do that by hitting the delete key. There's quite a few items, so it's going to make sure that I go ahead and confirm that deletion. If you ever delete something by accident, you can go down to the archive and get it back, because anything that's deleted is kept in the archive as well. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the demo. We just covered navigation. Next thing we're going to cover is the inbox. So the inbox is right here, and anything you email into the app at inbox@gtd.next shows up right here in your inbox, plus anything that you type into the quick inbox action box up at the top. So I can do task 1, task 2, task 3, and now I have 3 quick tasks that I've created. So you can kind of do your brainstorming pretty quickly that way. If I press escape, it gets rid of that box, and you can see that I can go ahead and assign an area. I'll talk about areas in a second here. I'm going to assign areas to each one of these things, and I'm going to make them active as well. So as soon as I make them active, they are out of the inbox and into the project area. So we go back up to projects and actions. You can see these 3 tasks are here now. They have 3 different areas. You can think of areas from David Allen's GTD as your role, your area of concentration, your area of focus, and you can create areas down here in the left-hand areas area. All right, you can edit and delete them as well. All right, so that's a little bit about the inbox. If we look at other things, we also covered areas. Now tags are over here. Tags allow you to specify context or other things about tasks. So from GTD, 3 popular contexts are errands or online, phone. It used to be that you specify computer or internet, things like that, but I tend to stick with 3 or 4 things that kind of identify to me where I am or how I'm going, the tools that I need to do the tasks. And then you can easily filter your whole task list by these tags. In the same way that you can filter your entire task list by your areas as well. So you can click these and you can show more than one. You can turn them off. You can also filter the entire app by your areas with this button over here, which is handy. Let's say you're at work and you really don't want to see your personal items. You can filter the entire app to show you just your work items, or at home just your personal items. Alright, so that's a little bit about areas and tags, and this projects and actions area is kind of the main organization area, and that's what that is about. Drag and drop is just letting you know that there's this little icon over here on the right hand side, and that's what allows you to drag items around. You can drag items into other items to make them a sub item of that, or you can drag it back out as well. So that's the drag and drop. You can also drag items over here into other projects. So you have quick access to other projects. You can also drag items into your other, make it a focus item and things like that. So that is drag and drop. Focusing on items. Let's say you want something to show up in your focus list. You can just click on the little icon here, or you can unfocus things by clicking on that, right? And it basically activates this right here. All right, back to projects and actions. That's the focus. Keyboard shortcuts, I already showed you those. Those are up here. You get to them by going to help and then down to keyboard shortcuts. All right. Next up is the next actions list. So once you have, let's go down to a project. Let's say we're planning a trip to Fiji. Actually, let's do the plan party for Kim. It has a few more items in it. The first item on your list is the next action. It's shown by that green N here. So it shows up in the next action list. You can see it, it's in this list here. Here it is, create invite. This is the plan party for Kim. And if I ever need to quickly get back to that to see kind of the context of that action, I can just click here, and now I'm focused in on that particular project. So this one here, that create invite list, shows up in the next action list, and when I complete that, like that, now the next one, find a location, is now automatically made into the next action. So that now shows up on the next action list, find a location, right? It goes to the top of the list. So I go back here, if I were to complete that one, we should now see create a playlist has become the next action, and it is now up on the next action list automatically. So the next action list is really where you go to see from all the different projects that you have, what is the next action, the first thing you need to do for each project. So instead of seeing 100 different actions, you can just see 10 for your 10 projects. You can just see the next action for each of those 10. All right, that's how that works. Now, in some projects, you don't want to just specify one action. You can say, oh, I can actually create the playlist now. I don't have to wait for later. So you can actually flag that as a forced next action. It will force that action onto the next list. All right, that's a little bit about that. So now we can navigate back up to the entire list here. And we can go back to our demo, and we can see that we just covered next actions. We also talked about force next and focus list. The focus list is that red bang. If you click that, it puts it on the focus list. The waiting list. Waiting is if you are, let's go back to a project. You're trying to hire a caterer and you called Ron, and now you're waiting on Ron to call you back. You can put that onto the waiting list. So when you go over to your waiting list, you can see that, oh yeah, that's right, I'm waiting for Ron. I gave him a call. Maybe I need to call him back because he didn't call me back yet. All right, so we go back to our projects and actions, and we take a look at our demo list here again. The waiting list, the someday list is similar. If you want to kind of make your list show only things that you're really focused on now, and someday you're going to focus on these other things, you can put it on the someday list. Scheduled list and repeating tasks are listed here. This can be something like once you go to scheduled, you can say you can repeat it daily. You can repeat it weekly and specify which days. Monthly, yearly. My favorite is periodically, where you can say, okay, every time I do this, I want to then do it again 5 days later. And it will show up on your task list 5 days later after the time you did it before. All right, so that is the repeating task. And scheduled allows you just to say, hey, I'm going to put a start date on a task, and I don't want to see it back in my next action list until next week, Thursday or something. So you can take one of your next actions and say, you know, this task here, I don't want to see it for a while. Let's put it out at the end of the month. Now this task, task 1, isn't going to be on my schedule list or on my next action list anymore. It's going to show up there on the 31st of October. All right, back to our list of items here. We covered repeating, we covered scheduled. Due dates, of course, is very similar to that. If you want to see a due date on something, you can click there. That's going to create a due. Let's actually go up to here and do that. So let's say due next week. We'll see it's due in 14 days now. I can use this filter to show me just the items with due dates. Same way that I can use this one to show me just items that have the bang on it. And this one must have a bang in this project somewhere. Yeah, there it is. All right, so those are some of the filters. The other filter that you have available to you up here is to show or hide completed items. And this one collapses or opens up your entire outline, and this one collapses it. All right, back to the demo list. Covered due dates, so we just covered the filters. Archive is right here. After I complete something, like this was completed a while ago, I can restore it, or I can restore it with all of the children, all the items underneath it as well, or I can choose to delete it forever. This is a premium feature, the whole archive area. You can also choose to say, okay, my list is getting pretty stacked with completed items. I want to archive anything that is over 30 days old, and I can hit the archive button there. All right. One other thing that's not on the list, I do want to show you, if you press Control and then click on an item, that's how you can focus in on something easily. Let's say that you have a large project and you really want to focus some time on it. You can click the Control plus click, and now you can see just that project, and you can kind of focus in on it. And I can do that again, and then I can kind of work my way back out up to the top level of the outline. So another handy thing to do. All right, well, I haven't gone over everything, but I've given a pretty good start, and this video is already about 12 minutes long. So if you're new to GTDNext, I hope this has been very helpful to you. The last thing to let you know is we have a pretty good community where lots of people are posting things all the time. Just hit the community button. You can see lots of information that people have talked about the app for months and months now. And the other thing is the help button is right there. All right, well, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope it's been helpful, and I hope you enjoy using GTDNext. Thanks.